everyone, and welcome. I'm Megyn Kelly. What should we eat? With all of the high-fat, low-fat, no-fat, high-fiber, no-fiber diets out there, it is a mystery to so many of us, including me. Well, no more. We begin today with the director of the Cleveland Clinic for Functional Medicine and author of What the Heck Should I Eat? Dr. Mark Hyman is here to urge us to take back our health, starting with our food. Dr. Mark, great to see you.
Good to see you,
Thank
too,
you so
Megyn.
much for being here. All right, so I'm relieved. I don't understand it. I was one of those people who believed the fat was bad and we should do, you know, like sort of the like artificial sweetener cookies and all that stuff, and that was going to make us healthier.
Yeah, you and 300 million other Americans.
and then you see the fat glycemic whatever index go up, showing how many obese Americans there are, and it's like whoosh, 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 over the past 30 years. Clearly, we're doing something wrong.
Yes.
So what is the nature? What is the bottom line of what you are trying to tell us?
Well, the bottom line is we're all so confused. We have nutrition whiplash, right? One day coconut oil is good, one day it's bad. And it's confusing because science is confusing, because media conflicting reports are out there, because dietary guidelines don't match the science. And the truth is, it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple what to eat. One, ask yourself a simple question. Is this food that was made by man or made by nature or God? Like, does God make a Twinkie? Probably not.
Well, you can make the argument.
Did God make an avocado? Yes, right? So it's something even a kindergartner can understand. And we also are not focusing on what we should be, which is quality. Quality matters more than quantity. A study came out last week in JAMA showing that people who consume high-quality foods, whatever it is, do better and lose weight.
So is this like back to eat the way your grandparents used to eat, where they have to go to the store every 2 or 3 days and they have to buy only fresh ingredients?
That's right. My grandmother used to say, buy fresh, eat fresh. It was a simple principle, but it's actually true. And the problem is we're so confused because we get conflicting reports. We say, well, now we should be eating low fat or whole grain. And so the food companies tweak the ingredients, but they're making junk just a little less junky. It's not a health food. And
Can I tell you, whole grain really confuses me. When it comes to bread, I don't know what to do with my children. I have 3 children. Should they have wheat bread? Should they have rye bread? Should they have no bread? What should they be eating?
Well, bread is a treat, I would say. It's basically like sugar. We know that 2 tablespoons of table sugar is better for you than 2 slices of whole wheat bread in terms of how it raises your blood sugar. Oh. Big aha.
2 tablespoons of table sugar are better than 2 slices of whole wheat bread?
Yes, because when you look at the glycemic index of bread, it's worse than table sugar.
So what are you supposed to be putting? Your kids are not supposed to be having sandwiches anymore?
You know, you can have whole grain bread, which is not whole wheat flour bread. Flour is basically ground up and it raises your blood sugar a lot. So it's just like
it's true what they say about bread. Bread is the devil.
It's not great. We were told to eat 6 to 11 servings of bread, rice, syrup, and pasta a day and eat low-fat foods. That's the opposite of what we should be doing.
Yeah, I remember when I was dieting in college and I would take just a huge bagel and eat the bagel thinking that, or like a big potato.
Yeah, bagels are a health food, right?
What about potato? God makes potato.
Yeah, they do, but they didn't make the kinds of giant fatty potatoes we have now, or starchy potatoes. They made these little tiny Peruvian potatoes that are fully nutrient dense. Those are fine.
All right, now we're going to walk through it. Like, we have some practical examples that you're going to walk us through. Can we do a little myth busting over here?
Yeah, sure.
We're going to start over here by the meat, by the protein. I'm gonna say the myth to you, the statement. You tell me whether it is a myth or it isn't.
Yes.
Here's number 1. This is from his book. Number 1, chicken is healthier than red meat.
False. Chicken, the way we grow it in factory farms, is full of grain-fed chickens that have high levels of inflammatory omega-6 fats. Whereas grass-fed beef, not feedlot beef or factory farm beef, has high levels of omega-3 fats, antioxidants,
How do I know
nutrients.
what they fed my cow?
Well, it should say on a sticker on the meat, it should say grass-fed, American grass-fed served. Yeah.
Okay, now here's the thing that confuses me. You go to a restaurant. It doesn't say any of that, you know?
No, it doesn't.
And
You
here
can
in
ask
New
them.
York,
Sometimes
we eat
they
out
do.
a lot or we order in a lot.
Yeah.
You don't know what
No,
you're putting in.
You don't know. It's usually factory farmed food.
Do you ever ask? Do you ever say, is it grass-fed beef?
Yeah, but usually they'll say on the menu it's grass-fed or organic. That's
All right,
better.
that's what you need to look for.
Yes,
grass-fed or organic.
Yes.
We need to worry about what the cow is eating before we eat it.
That's right. It's not what you're eating. You are not what you eat. You are what you're eating ate.
What you're eating ate, exactly, what your animal ate. And so the red meat has gotten a bad name.
Yeah, well, I think we have so many studies that suggest that it might be bad, but they're actually looking at a period of time when people were eating horrible diets who ate meat because they didn't care about their health, right? They smoked more, they drank more, they weighed more, they ate less fruits and vegetables, they didn't exercise. Of course, they had more disease. But when you look at people who eat at health food stores, who are vegetarians or meat eaters, they both have their risk of death reduced in half.
Wow.
We've been eating meat for our entire evolution.
And by the way, same true for, you talk about butter.
Yes, we're going to get to that.
Yeah, okay. So okay. So this is clearly the whole, and this is the skim.
That's right.
All right, the myth suggested is low-fat or skim is healthier than whole milk. That's all the fat in there. That's
Yes, we've been told fat is bad. We should be eliminating fat because fat has more calories than starch and sugar. So when I lose weight, cut the fat and to reverse heart disease. But it turns out that's not true anymore. That the guidelines, the dietary guidelines have actually found that when people are consuming low-fat foods, they have more issues. In fact, skim milk leads to more weight gain and more hunger and more issues because we're cutting the fat, which makes us feel full, speeds up our metabolism.
This one has been on the books for decades. We've been told not to have whole milk. I mean, I thought it was basically like I could feel it calcifying my arteries.
Yes, well,
it's not true.
No, it's partly the saturated fat myth, right?
And saturated fat has a bad name.
It does have a bad name. And the reason is that we neglected a lot of the research that shows that it's not so bad anymore. 17 meta-analyses, large studies have looked at saturated fat and found no link between heart disease.
Does that mean we should be eating a bunch of fried food now? Fried chicken, fried
So
French fries?
Here's the key. No sweet fat, which is lots of fat plus starch and sugar. That's deadly. I call that sweet fat. So no donuts, ice cream, French fries. That's bad.
Oh, it's like an assault of information there.
Sorry.
What about these eggs? Do we care about
I'm
eggs?
just a
Are eggs
messenger.
healthy?
Don't shoot me.
Are eggs okay? We were told, the yolks go for the egg whites,
that's
not
right.
the yolks.
We were suffering through egg white omelets for the last 40 years because we were told
they're not good.
to get rid of cholesterol, dietary cholesterol. But the latest guidelines showed that there's no link between dietary cholesterol and your heart disease. So cholesterol is, quote, no longer a nutrient of concern, according to the government.
And same, by the way, yogurt. You can get full-fat yogurt.
Absolutely.
Which tastes so much
But
better than non-fat yogurt.
Not sugary yogurt.
Not sugary.
Right. I mean, the average
Plain.
sweetened yogurt, like strawberry yogurt, has more sugar per ounce than soda.
Yeah. No, yogurt is like a little devil in the details where you can get 18 ounces of sugar in there, or
Stick
grams
with the fat
of sugar.
and high-protein yogurt. Yeah.
Yes, we know we're supposed to eat this. Okay, but wait. Here's the question. Fresh fruit is better than frozen. Is that true?
Not necessarily. Frozen fruit's amazing because it's frozen right off the vine, ripe. Whereas when you get berries that you get in the supermarket, they may have been shipped for long periods of time, stored, they're not picked, ripened, and the nutrient density of the frozen berry is actually higher.
Wow.
And it keeps longer, it doesn't go moldy.
So do you have to just put it on your counter and let it defrost to get the full benefit? Or
You can put it in the blender, put it in smoothies, you can put it on salads, great. And vegetables also, you can get frozen vegetables, which people think are not as good, but actually they may be better.
And what about like the pesticides that they spray on them?
Yes,
I mean, do you scrub your fruits and vegetables?
Yes,
or what
I
do
try
you
to
do?
be organic when I can, and I'm on the board of the Environmental Working Group, and we actually have a guide which is the Dirty Dozen. What are the 12 most contaminated fruits and vegetables, and what are the Clean 15? What are the cleanest ones?
Yep.
And you can pick, the least contaminated ones if you don't want to buy organic, and the ones that are like kale, for example, you want to buy organic.
Okay, now we talked about butter. We were told this is the devil too. Is
Butter
this the devil or not?
Well, we were told forever to get off butter, have margarine, shortening. You know what I call it? Shortening, right?
No.
Shortens your life.
Oh, man. Oh, there's a mnemonic for you.
But we got that completely wrong because now the government says that we should not be eating any of that. We should actually be eating things that are quite different.
Can we be having butter? Can we have actual butter?
Here's the amazing thing. There was a study that came out recently looking at 600,000 people consuming 6.5 million years of butter, finding no link between heart disease and butter, or in fact, an inverse relationship between diabetes and butter. So, you don't
throw
wanna,
out the butter substitutes.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a health food, but you can happily consume it as ideally grass-fed, which is more nutrients.
I always think about Julia Child, who lived to be 90.
Yeah, she loved butter.
High, 96, something like that. And she loved butter. She put butter on everything.
Yeah.
She said it's a secret ingredient. So butter is back. Red meat. I mean, right, it gives you a lot to think about, the way our grandparents used to eat. Thank you so much for this book. I tell you, I couldn't put it down. I was what? But it makes a lot of sense.
It does. It's just some science is coming together with common sense, and it's basically simple. Eat foods that are low in starch and sugar, lots of plant foods,
and
good fats.
Good eaters.
Yes.
Dr. Mark Hyman, thank you very much. For these tips and more, go to today.com/Megyn Today. We'll be right back.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.